So I've been busy. Around 3.5 weeks ago, I made a video talking about a wonderful contraption that I was going to build called the bike chair. See, it was scheduled to be done much earlier than this, but the thing is, I jumped into the project with no prior knowledge or experience of what I was doing. This in turn led to several problems that I've had to overcome and try to fix and redesign. I am still working on it, but the only problem is that there's still like a bunch to do, and it's gonna take a little bit for me to do it. But I thought that in the meantime, why not do something fun, something else that's very needed in the world today. See, my friend today mentioned something about a cardboard cutout, which made me think, hey, what if I made my own? To which I then looked through my photo gallery and saw a photo of our former president, Barack Obama. And that made me think, hey, I've already made such things like, the Obama prism before, and thought, why not make an actual, real version of Obama himself? And that's why today I will show you how to create a beautiful, almost 5-foot tall cardboard cutout of Obama. See, I originally started off with this photo of Barack Obama because I thought this would make the absolute best cardboard cutout because he's just standing there staring at you. So, what else could you want, right? The problem, however, is the fact that I needed to get this and somehow make it like 10 times larger than it already is. So I came up with a little system of how I would do that. See, I took the measurement of standard copy paper, which is 11 inches by 8.5 inches, and I put that down into a smaller scale, which I thought that what I could do is I divide both things by the same number to give it the same proportions, but at a much smaller scale. I ended up with a paper rectangle with the dimensions of 2 1/8 inches by 1 5/8 inches, which is around the exact size of a regular sheet of paper, but put down drastically. I was then able to take this little tiny piece of paper and make 10 individual sections going all the way up through the photo, which I have mapped out, and been able to just kind of make it so that each little one of these squares is its own sheet of paper that I screenshot and print out. See, I printed all of them here. You have the head for Obama right here, and then this is the upper torso, and then you have like bottom torso, legs, and feet. Once those are all printed, they're most likely going to have a white rim around them because the printer doesn't typically print it all over to the edge because then the ink would bleed and it would be a mess. So what you have to do is take either an X-Acto knife or a pair of scissors and cut off that white edge so that you can have everything nice and connected. This goes for all 10 photos. Okay, so I cut the photos out. I'm happy because every single photo lines up perfectly with the other one. And you have all 10 of them just all individually lined up with the little parts in the middle going and then the ones side to side going also away, just to connect it all into one beautiful large image. The only issue is the fact I need a piece of cardboard big enough to house this, because the biggest one I have is right here, but that only covers like 3/4 of it, so I need one big piece of cardboard. So I'm going to go across the street to this dumpster that's down there, where I'm going to see if I can find a cardboard piece big enough to make something amazing. Okay, so I'm inside the dumpster, and I'm realizing that there are big pieces of cardboard, but they're like really wet. Like this one I was gonna use, but it's like way too covered in water for me to use because that will just like completely collapse if I try to use it. So everything in here, it's probably at the bottom if there is gonna be a piece, but instead I think I'm just gonna take that big piece of cardboard from earlier and I'm just gonna add a big piece at the end of it. So because I'm doing that, what I'm gonna end up doing is this piece of cardboard right here, only the middle piece is actually wide enough for me to put over the little photos there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this down and then most likely use these other pieces to put back up at the top just for the head, because this goes from about the feet up to a little bit below the top of the chest. So I think after that, putting these on should be no problem. I also forgot to mention the fact that I'm going to be cutting out each little individual piece of Obama, so the black part of like his suit and everything, just cut away all the like extra area, like the white spots and everything else like that, so it can just be Obama. So I glued down the legs, and how I did that was I took some glue and I also traced out the shape of the legs in each little segment of them, where I then filled that area with glue and then glued them in onto the cardboard, and then I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to glue it onto another piece of cardboard.
Now that that's done, I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and cut all the way around this of the outline of Obama, and cut around of the legs as well, to then take and put together. Okay, so I took the two halves and I got them together. So now we have top half of Barack Obama, and then we have bottom half of Barack Obama. And I'm going to connect them using these little pieces of steel rod, which was part of an old project I was going to do but failed at miserably. So big one goes in the middle, and then goes to the top of that, and then the two other ones go on the sides to act as extra support. Now that that's done, I'm going to be making a support, and I'm going to be making it out of this wooden stick here, but you can use whatever you want, doesn't really matter. So I took the half of the stick, and I took a piece of cardboard and bent it in the middle, and I proceeded to take flex tape, wrap it around the cardboard and the stick, and then put it up against the back of the cardboard cutout and another piece of flex tape to cover that, which in turn creates a stand that can not only bend, but can change the height of which you want him to be standing. And that is all you need to create your own Barack Obama cardboard cutout.
I hope you enjoyed that riveting little tutorial and gave you something to do during these dire times. You know, things like these that can be used for so many different applications, it's practically endless. Have a good night, and hopefully you have as much fun making yours as I did.